How we doing? Hello. Nothing.
Can we get updates on Keenan Robinson? Where Dial stands, Compton, Karis Freeland, those guys?
Keenan was held out today, had sore Achilles. Yeah, he should be okay day to day. We'll see how he is tomorrow. Who was the other ones? Compton?
Yeah, Compton. Still
Same thing. He went through individual today, and we'll get a better gauge tomorrow. Most of these guys are, they've done some individual, see how they are for treatment today, and then see how they're feeling in the morning, get to the hotel, and make a decision for Thursday night.
D'Angelo, any chance for Thursday for him? And then Jamison, he went today as well. Is there any?
I think they're in the same boat. D'Angelo hurt his toe, and he's going to try to go. He wants to play really bad. He knows he needs some reps here and there to get back in the flow, but we'll see how he's doing at the hotel Thursday.
I'll get this one out of the way. A little bit of a firestorm created yesterday. People taking Robert's comments about how he feels he's the best quarterback in the league and how he wants to go out and prove that. What did you make of all that, of him saying that and just what happened?
Yeah, I didn't really make a lot out of it. You guys did. I think all players want to strive to be the best, and that doesn't change. Deshaun Jackson said he was uncoverable. Whether he is or not, that's the way he feels. And Robert has high goals for himself, and I don't fault anybody for having high goals for themselves. We don't want anybody to strive to be average. So, but the key thing that he said, he's got to go out and prove it. And we all got to go out and prove it.
Yeah, I think from what you said a week ago, it should be Colt McCoy's turn to relieve Robert. Is that going to be the case? And if so, what are you looking for out of Colt?
Same thing. I think Colt will get more reps in this game. But, it's an open competition there for those guys, and they're both doing some great things at practice. And obviously Kirk had a very strong performance against Cleveland. So Colt's just got to parlay a solid performance, when he played in the games last year, and see his growth and see what he's all about, and move the team and get the ball in the end zone.
I do have one quick follow-up to John's question. Is there on your part anything like a fatigue factor, I guess, of having to address or answer for comments that from the starting quarterback that either fairly or unfairly created a firestorm? There was a bit of that last year.
Not really. It's just a matter of what's interpreted, how it's interpreted, and I have to read through the whole thing sometimes and figure out what was exactly said, and I don't. But not really. This is part of my job, to talk to the media and answer questions about certain players and certain issues, and that's what I signed up for. What was my impression? I really didn't think a whole lot of it. I just thought it was a guy that had high hopes for himself and his performance in his career as a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think when he was drafted number 2 out of Baylor, and he came here and he had a Rookie of the Year performance, I think everybody thought he could be a top-notch quarterback in the NFL, and I don't think he's wavered in that confidence factor. He just got to go out and prove it and stay healthy, number one, and then go out and continue to play. But the whole thing about great quarterbacks and the top-notch quarterbacks, they're durable, and they do it year in and year out, game in and game out, and we got to make sure we do our best to keep him healthy, and he's got to do his best to perform.
What have you seen with Pierre and Robert as far as the development of their chemistry? And looks like they're staying after they're talking to each other more. Do you see noticeable changes there with their rapport?
Yeah, I think so. I think with all the receivers, Robert's comfort level is getting there, and it's coming, and it comes with repetition and anticipation on routes and knowing where they're going, how they're going to get there, and then the receivers having trust that the ball is going to be in the air. That takes time, and it's coming. And Pierre is an excellent receiver, very detail-oriented. Ryan Grant's excellent. Andre's excellent with the details. So he's got some guys that know exactly how to get there. Now we just got to give them the ball on time, and that's coming. And that's when we're clicking. That'll be a major part of why.
Jay, with a lot of the injuries you guys have had in the secondary, when you look at some of these younger guys getting a chance to go out there and play in these preseason games, do you put more of a value on these opportunities that he's played, whether it be last Thursday, this Thursday, or do you, when you grade these things, is it basically even with what you see in practice?
Talking about the games as compared to the
when you look at
practice.
some of these younger guys, yeah, evaluating them in games
Oh yeah,
versus
they're
practice.
yeah. I think we evaluate them all the time. Practice, every rep that they take, they're evaluated in practice and in the games. But the games are important. Like I said before, some guys shine, some guys don't. Some guys play better in practice than the games. Some guys play better in games than in practice. So it's a great experience for these young guys. Not only on the defensive side of the ball, but when they go to special teams, a huge, huge opportunity for them. Anytime you cross the white lines on the football field in the National Football League, it's a great opportunity for you, and a lot of guys hopefully will take advantage of it.
With Jordan being out, is this more of a precautionary situation with him right now, considering some of the injuries you've had at tight end? And if it was, a regular season game, do you think he would be able to suit up and play?
I don't think he would this week. No, he's got a hamstring, and we got to get him right. And I got to make sure he's 100% for Miami. But I'm hoping that he's going to be ready for Baltimore, but we'll have to wait and see. He's a very important part of our offense. Third downs, as we all know how important he is. So we got to make sure he's right. We got to get him in there sooner than later, obviously, at least in practice, to get him the reps that we're talking about with Pierre, the timing and all that stuff that the quarterback needs. So, but we also got to be smart with him, and really only Jordan can tell us how he's feeling. With hamstrings nowadays, is it tight? Is it pulled? What is it? You never know. So we just got to trust his word that when he's right, he'll be right.
Have you figured out a role yet for Matt Jones? I mean, it seems like you're doing a lot of different things with him. Talk as a third down back, a relief back. Are you still in the process of figuring all that out?
Yeah, we're still in the process, but right now I'd say more of a relief back. I think, take some load off of Alfred, late in the game or second quarter here and there, spell him from time to time. Alfred's doing so good, and he's been in such good shape. It's hard to take him out of the game on first, second down, but, I think it's going to be important for Matt to earn his reps, and he's got to go out in these last 3 preseason games, A, stay healthy, and B, show the stamina that he has, the ball security that we can trust him in a game on Sunday afternoon. So if he earns the reps, he'll get a share of carries.
So are you looking at Thompson pretty much as your third down back?
Thompson's doing an excellent job. Very happy with what Chris is doing. And Chris is actually doing good on the normal downs also. So those 3 guys are excellent. Silas unfortunately got hurt. And then Trey, obviously, he's shown flashes of being a pretty explosive guy himself. And then Mac has come in there and taken some carries. He'll get more carries in the third and fourth quarter. So I'm just going to let it play out.
What are you looking forward to from your team on Thursday in preseason game 2, and how long do you expect the starters to stay in?
I expect just to continue to build on what we're doing, and make sure these guys go out and play and compete every down and get better than we were last week. We were pretty error-free as far as the penalties were concerned. I'm hoping that stays the case, but I want to see our guys just continue to get better and stay together and learn our system and play together and communicate. And then in the process, finding out what guys we want to keep for our roster. So that's the most important thing. But really set standards high for themselves and play hard and physical football.
Jay,
what was the other question you had? I'm not sure yet. The first quarters can be very different sometimes. Sometimes you get 10 plays on offense, sometimes you get 40. So I would probably say close to around the first quarter, maybe a little longer.
just building on that, some of the younger receivers getting a chance with Deshaun out, how would you evaluate how they played? Ryan Grant, some of the other younger guys.
Yeah, Ryan Grant, he's one of my favorites. Ryan's always good, man. He's a clinic receiver. He runs every route perfect. But he's doing good. A lot of our young guys are doing good. Andre's stepped up, and he continues to battle and compete. He's done well. Bell's done some good things. He made some plays. Obviously, Ross had a big game in the game. He's done some good things. So all these guys are really trying to do their best to compete and battle, and I'm happy with the progress that they're making. Ike does a great job with those guys. So it'll be interesting to see how they do on special teams. Also, Spencer, he did some good things on special teams, but somebody's got to emerge as a punt returner, kick returner, or special teams player.
As a follow-up, will Crowder play? If that was asked, I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
No.
He practiced today in an individual and looked pretty good running around, but, that's – I don't know if we want to force the issue. We want to get him a couple good days of practice before we put him out in the game.
What else? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.